The Raiders versus Broncos game last night is now considered one of the worst in Thursday night football history. We all expected Geno Smith to be bad, but people did not expect Bo Nix to have a rough game against this losing Raiders team. You saw throws like this that make you wonder if the rookie season was just a fluke. Bo Nix on 2nd and 16 nearly throws an interception. It was real bad. Last night was so bad for Nix that now you have the talking heads wondering if Sean Payton is going to draft a new QB.
Would Sean Payton draft another quarterback? I'm dead serious. Bo Nix has regressed badly.
But it's not like Sean Payton was perfect either. You had people wondering what the hell he was doing on 3rd and 1. It's a critical moment in the game, and rather than run it up the middle, Sean Payton decides to have a screen fake to Courtland Sutton, where Bo Nix is out blocking here now, and suddenly Sutton's going to try to throw the football, and it's a complete disaster. And on 3rd and 1 instead, the Broncos go absolutely backwards, -5 yards. Bo Nix was not only held to a season low of 150 yards, but he also threw 2 interceptions. The first one here just overthrows his receiver in a tip pick by Caillou Blue Kelly. And with 41 seconds left in the second quarter, Bo Nix just chucks it up the field on 2nd down, overthrows, and gives an easy interception again to Caillou Blue Kelly. 2nd down, he should have just thrown it incomplete. But even with how demonstrously bad the Broncos offense was, the Raiders straight up said, "Hold my beer. We're going to show you what a shitty offense looks like." It all started out with some infighting between running back Raheem Mostert and Geno Smith. Kenny Pickett had to go there and break it up. Geno was getting heated at his offensive team. Personally, I think the highest paid offensive coordinator in the NFL was a lot worse than Geno Smith last night, because on 3rd and 2, he made one of the worst decisions I've seen. A QB sneak is what the coordinator wants you to do on 3rd and 2 with Geno Smith. Sometimes I like to swap out the football and grab a fishing rod, and now I can thanks to the sponsor of today's video, Fishing Clash. Fishing Clash is a mobile game with over 100 million users that really reminds me of the young days as a kid growing up fishing with the family. This is a game that can take you back to those nostalgic moments. You'll experience the fresh waters just like you're right there at the lake and the ocean. But if you're a competitive guy, you can treat this game just like it's a real matchup on Sunday. You can go and experience player versus player battles, climb the top of the world's global ranks, and have a straight up clan war with a squad and crush rival clans just like it's deep in the 4th quarter. Fishing Clash offers so much variety that you never really run out of things to do, whether you want to chill, whether you want to be competitive. It has endless action. So if you want to get hooked on this game and also support this channel by downloading the game using my link in the description box below, or scan the QR code displayed on your screen. Use my special gift code Wi-Fi Willie to claim a $20 value reward, including a unique avatar, all for free. That's promo code Wi-Fi Willie. Use the link below or the QR code to get your reward. Obviously, this was a complete disaster. You can see him here have nowhere to go and actually lose yards on a QB sneak on 3rd and 2. I haven't seen that in a while. And although Geno Smith does lead the NFL in interceptions, I think his only interception of the night was not his fault. Ashton Jeanty, the superstar of the Raiders, messed up here on this passing route. Boom! In his hands, tipped in the air, intercepted by the big guy. That was all on Ashton Jeanty. Right to him on 1st down. Could have just been an easy gain right there. Plenty of space. But instead it ends as a Geno Smith turnover, and Ashton Jeanty looked defeated and upset on the sideline after that. The Raiders lost 2 offensive linemen to injuries throughout this game, and it got even worse for Geno Smith when he started getting injured himself, tried to scramble and land on his thigh/knee here, big time bruising contusion there, and he was not the same the rest of the night. You saw this guy limping around everywhere. And of course, because Sean Payton is notorious for being affiliated with Bountygate through his time with the New Orleans Saints, you had Raiders fans wondering if a Bountygate situation was happening throughout the game. Right here, Geno Smith takes a low hit from Allen, pulled down, and you had some extra pain and aggravation of that thigh, the same thigh that he hurt earlier. We're not the only people who have not forgotten about Bountygate. Remember Russell Wilson when he was clapping back at Sean Payton because Sean Payton did a sneak diss at him when he was complimenting the Giants' new quarterback Jackson Dart, who's starting above Russell Wilson right now. Wilson went on X and broke character and actually talked shit on Sean Payton, and nobody expected this to happen. That's why this tweet here has 44 million views. Absolutely insane. Classless but not surprised. Didn't realize you're still bounty hunting 15 years later through the media. Let's ride. You know you got to be a real dick to actually make Russell Wilson break character.
Broncos country, let's ride.
So this game was 10-7 with very few big plays throughout the game, and the few big plays that did happen for the Raiders were called back due to penalties. You had this big time run by Genty that looked like it was going to go for a monster gain, but instead that 31-yard rush was called back due to a hold by Jack Besh right here. And really, this guy was so far away from the play, you didn't even have to make that hold happen, but that took away a monster gain for the Raiders. Against the Jacksonville Jaguars last week, Brock Bowers went off, got 42 fantasy points. So what does he do against the Denver Broncos? Of course, only finishes with 1 catch and 31 yards. The people who are putting money on parlays and whatnot gotta be pissed. Bowers had a negative 10,000 chance to have 2+ receptions against the Broncos, and that did not happen. And although everybody wants to dog on Geno Smith, he leads the NFL in interceptions right now. He really did not get much help from his team, and that is why you saw him yelling at Raheem Mostert here on a critical 4th down. Geno Smith is relying on Mostert to do some pass blocking here. He does not see the edge rusher, and that leads to an easy sack on Geno Smith on 4th down, forcing him to have 0 shot to do something in a clutch moment. And it's not just Raheem Mostert messing up with the pass blocking at the running back position. You got Ashton Genty in the backfield, play action on a critical 3rd down, Nick Bonito right there rushing, and I know it's a bad call by Chip Kelly to rely on Genty to pass block Nick Bonito one-on-one, but nonetheless, Genty was not even able to touch the guy, and that led to intentional grounding in a critical moment of the game, stalling another Raiders offensive drive. Obviously, the offense was trash in this horrible Thursday night football matchup, but the special teams was even worse, leading to somebody getting fired. You have the Denver Broncos here doing arguably one of the worst punts that we've ever seen. Yikes, he shanked several punts, setting up good field position for the Raiders. And I know Will Lutz tried to attempt a 59-yarder in a windy Mile High Stadium, but this was not even close. This was like 10 yards short for the 59-yard field goal. Sean Payton was asked if there needs to be a coaching change at special teams, and this guy was so heated and such a dick to this reporter.
You know, we have to get that cleaned up, or we'll find someone else that can do it. Are you referring to personnel there, or are you referring to coaching? You know,
Evan, if you were paying attention, I'm referring to players that aren't on the field that need to be. All right. Is that crystal clear?
Yep. My name's Luca. Also.
Okay, perfect.
He doesn't even know his name. Raiders oddly had the best special teams plays of the night and the worst. Right here, you had a block punt in a critical moment. AJ Cole could not get the ball off, and boom, that set up some great field position for the Broncos. But oddly enough, AJ Cole was a player of the game, 2 punts inside the 1-yard line. You don't see that every day. And that's how you know things are getting sad for your offense, when you have more celebrations by your freaking punter than your quarterback in a Thursday night football game. But we saw the Raiders special teams play come crashing down at the end of the game when it matters the most. Not only did Daniel Carlson, the kicker, miss a point after last week against the Jacksonville Jaguars, but here you have it, 48-yarder, 4th and 6 to tie the game and send this into overtime, and he just shanks it wide right. Which is why you had a coaching change finally for the Raiders, where they have fired Tom McMahon, the special teams coordinator. This guy looked pretty upset and nervous throughout the game, and I think a lot of fans saw this coming. But who would have thought it would have been this bad with the Las Vegas Seahawks, Pete Carroll and Geno Smith? 15.4 points per game this season, the lowest through 9 games since 2009, when the Jamarcus Russell-led team had 9.8 points per game this season. This is worse than last year with Luke Getsy as offensive coordinator and Antonio Pierce as head coach. And this year we have the highest paid offensive coordinator in Vegas with the Raiders, Chip Kelly, and the offense looks terrible. This is still very shocking and very disappointing all around. But the Denver Broncos should be worried. Yes, they're an 8-2 team, but their offense has looked horrible all year. Bo Nix seems to have regressed. And who would have thought it would have been this matchup, Raiders versus Broncos, to cause NFL fans to say, cancel Thursday Night Football ASAP. And thank you again to Fishing Clash for sponsoring this video. Support this channel by getting Fishing Clash on your iOS/Android device for free. Use my link fishingclash.link/Wi-Fi Willie. Use my gift code Wi-Fi Willie to get a $20 reward and share your biggest catch in the pinned comment.